lot of fluid on the racetrack, so they don't want these guys running through that fluid, oil, etc., and debris, so they're going to stop the cars and try to get cleanup over there to try to get this mess cleaned up on the back stretch. 4 cars involved: Dave Blaney, Jamie McMurray, 2-time Richmond winner Dale Jarrett, and the 40 car of David Strimmy. In the latest caution flag, we now have had 10 caution flags for 53 laps tonight. Cleanup continues. We'll come back with a restart in just a moment.
I don't got a huge old house. I rent a room in the house. Listen, baby, girl.
ESPN's coverage of NASCAR Nextel Cup Series on ABC. Brought to you by Chevy and American Revolution. Pepsi. Pennzoil Platinum, full synthetic motor oil with adaptive molecules. And Sprint, featuring NASCAR Nextel Cup Series updates at sprint speed.
We are at Richmond International Raceway. It's sold out Richmond, where we are under a red flag condition because of a 4-car accident here on lap 293. We have 106 laps to go. Here's the projected chase points as of right now. If the race were to finish right now, these are the 12 drivers that would be in the chase. You get 10 bonus points per win, and Jimmy Johnson has 5 wins. He would have 5,050 as of starting next week at New Hampshire. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 86 behind 12th in Harvick, currently 13th in the NASCAR Nextel Cup points. He has got to be able to stay there, and there's got to be some concern in the Harvick camp about number 1, the engine, and number 2, the brakes.
Didn't really heat those brakes up a lot. Back in the pack, we were trying to talk about that when that wreck happened, but if he, we saw 2 tires already that had blown out on these cars, and what's happened there is that brake heat gets up into that wheel, and it charcoals the bead of the tire and just blows it out instantly. And that's the only thing I would really be concerned about if I was Todd Berrier and Kevin Harvick, is that he's using the brakes awful hard trying to work his way back up through this pack.
And his crew chief needs to be telling that too, Andy. He needs to be communicating with Kevin, saying, look, your front brake rotors are awful hot. Back off them, because it is going to hurt the tires.
We are serious about who's going to get in this chase tonight, but how about some serious NFL action coming your way on Monday night? A doubleheader starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time. First, it's Chad Johnson and the Bengals looking to make a big statement against the rough-and-tumble Baltimore Ravens. Then how about the Heisman winner, Matt Leinart, and the Arizona Cardinals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And our own Susie Colbert will be there. And, Susie, that Baltimore Raven defense is pretty doggone tough.
Well, you can say that again. And Ray Lewis in his 12th season promises that he's better than he's ever been. And that defense was number 1 in the NFL last year. And, Brad,
yep.
I know you're a Ravens fan, and this defense is all about aggressiveness and creating confusion. But the Bengals promise, too. They like to dictate as well, and they'll do that with some confusion of their own.
Well, yeah, the Bengals are going downfield, no doubt about that, and the Ravens defensively are very, very good. But they need to stop talking about Steve McNair like he's an old man in Baltimore. He has a lot of wind left in him. And Brian Billick, he's a very offensive-minded coach. They'll spread the team. Jonathan Ogden comes back at offensive tackle, so they got some good things happening for the Ravens as they go forward.
You know, if anybody's talking about Steve McNair feeling old, it's him. He says he feels every
Steve
bit
McNair's
of 31 years old.
He can go now. Leave him alone. Leave Steve McNair alone. Let him play.
13th season, but the good thing is for the Ravens that McNair had a full off season in this system. Feels much more comfortable. So we're looking forward to Monday Night Football, but right now our head's in this game, and
That's
I'm looking
right.
at Dale Earnhardt Jr. sitting there in 4th position.
He's looking strong. It's he's doing everything that he can possibly do at this point. So we'll see what happens after they clean it up. Let's go back to the booth, Doc.
Thank you, Brad and Susie. Big doubleheader in the NFL coming Monday night, and we're trying to get some repairs done on the wall here at Richmond tonight. This is the 10th caution flag tonight. Now, here's where they had contact with the wall. Watch the 88 and 19. Oh, the 26, and McMurray got it head on.
Yeah, McMurray just hammers the wall. He's the one that actually caused the damage to the wall. Although it doesn't look like there's much damage to that wall. This shouldn't take too long to get back green here at Richmond.
It's going through the mind of the Jeff Gordon camp. How about Steve Letarte? Jamie's down there.
Well, he's down here taking a break. Perfect timing. So I have to ask you, Steve, you guys were dominating this race, and all of a sudden Tony Stewart just appeared out front. Was this a surprise to you, and do you guys have enough to get him back?
Well, first of all, I don't think Tony Stewart out front of Richmond is a surprise to anybody. But, I mean, the DuPont Nickrest Chevrolet has been great all night long. We've been fighting a little drive off, and we've been working on it. And I think we finally just got the center too tight. So we're going to go back to some of our adjustments and see, 100 laps to go in a short track race. Nothing's ever over. So if it comes down to a short run, I think we're real good. On a long run, we definitely have to make the car better. Talking about fuel strategy here, this could come down to a fuel strategy race. What do you think? Well, I hope everybody else is concerned because we can make it no problem. So it won't be a big concern from here. That poker face. They can make it no problem. We're going to have to wait and see once we get going green again, Doc.
Jeff Gordon doesn't have to worry about it, and now neither does Kurt Busch. He cannot finish worse than where he needed to finish, so he is officially locked in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Congratulations to Kurt Busch and Roger Penske, that whole team. He'll be in the chase, but what about Harvick and Earnhardt? This telecast is available on ABC HD, presented by DLP. Richmond International Raceway, the final race to the chase. Kevin Harvick needing to finish 32nd or better. There sits the 29 car of Harvick. He's had an overheating problem. He's dodged a couple of really close calls on the racetrack. He's currently being shown back in 15th position. There are 8 cars that have been damaged and are either being repaired or out of the race. And so he needs to be able to have 3 more fall out, and he would be locked into the chase, so it's getting closer and closer for Kevin Harvick. Now, while we have a break here under the red, let's visit with our in-race reporter, driver of the AT&T Chevrolet, Jeff Burton, who's sitting back in the 7th position.
Jeff Burton, Rusty Wallace, ESPN. You got us?
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
Well, Jeff, you got that thing in 7th position right now, but you've had to dodge a lot of bullets out there. Looks like it's pretty close racing.
Yeah, we obviously haven't been as good as we hope to be, but we keep working and making it better. Next thing you know, we're in 7th, so we're going to keep battling and see what we can make happen. We definitely keep making it better, and we're just, like I said, we're just going to keep on doing it. Who knows what can happen?
Just what are the brakes looking like out there? What do they feel like to you? We see a lot of red rotors. A lot of guys look like they're getting themselves in trouble, blowing right front tires because of it, things like that.
Yeah, this car tomorrow is a real challenge with the braking. They don't brake like a normal car. We're going to think the whole garage has work to do on the braking, but you see a lot of people dragging the left front tire. You see a lot of people really loose getting in the corner too. That's what we are. So I can't afford to put rear brake in it and try to save the fronts because I'm so loose. But then you borderline lock the left front up. So this place is as hard as anywhere we go on brakes. We got a little bit of a different package tonight. We're trying some experimenting a little bit, but I think we're learning something.
All right, buddy. Thanks for talking to us.
How good is to be able to sit and visit with a driver during the race as an in-race reporter, and you see that Jeff Burton putting the gloves back on. The 70 car, great run for Johnny Sauter. His best finish of the year was 9th earlier in the year at Phoenix, and he's having a run that could really change their entire season here. Dave?
And, Doc, that was their only top 10 of the season so far, with Booty Barker right now on top of their pit box. And, not only did he start 35th tonight, but y'all had some problems here on pit road that sent him back to 30th or so earlier. How's he recovered from all this?
He's drove a smart race. No mistakes. It's easy to happen here. Car's doing well, and the crew, we've really worked hard to get to this point, believe it or not. I mean, all of us do, but we've had to hang in there. This top 35 battle is difficult, but that's the way it should be, right?
And here at this track with this race car, Booty, one of the common denominators is you get your cars, or your chassis anyway, and your motors from Hendrick Motorsports. So one might expect you to run well, but where does that start and where does that stop in terms of being the answer of why Johnny's having a great night?
It's a great help. I mean, we work well together. I'd like to thank Rex Stump. He's the lead engineer over there at Hendrick, and he's works hard on this COT stuff and feeds us a lot of information. But we had a good test. Anywhere where we get to test and run a lot, we seem to do better. And we had a Richmond test here in the spring. We ran well in the spring. We got caught up in a wreck, and it's just, maybe I'm just a slow learner. You reckon? It's just, it must be my fault.
Well, and you don't get all the support from them, right? You guys sort of operate as a single-car team most of the time, right?
Oh, well, no, us in the 66. So no. The whole Haas organization puts in the work. Absolutely. And for what we've accomplished. The whole organization deserves all this credit. So it's taken a lot of work, and we deserve to be here.
That's a good run for him so far. Johnny Sauter has had success here. One of his 3 Busch Series wins came at this racetrack, and hoping to stay near the top 5, guys.
Dave, he finished 5th in his very first NASCAR race here. It was a Busch race back in September of 2001, and having a great run here tonight in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. He was on the ABC Primetime Show a couple of weeks ago. Great up-close and personal look at Johnny Sauter and his chase to become a top NASCAR driver. Back with hopefully the restart here in just a moment. Make sure to tune in after the race to NASCAR Now for extended post-race coverage. Once this chase field is set, NASCAR Now presented by DirecTV later tonight at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. So once we set the field, we'll have extensive post-race coverage of what the drivers and crews and everyone's thinking about what's going to happen in the 2007 chase to the NASCAR Nextel Cup. We just joined our coverage. We'll bring you up to date. Dale Earnhardt Jr. started 21st tonight. Didn't have a good car early on. Didn't have a good luck in the pits. He gets blocked in as he pits behind the 10 car of Scott Briggs. But the car began running a little better and a little better. Now suddenly he goes sailing by the guy he's chasing in the points, Kevin Harvick, as he's moving toward the front of the field. Denny Hamlin leading here, being challenged by Clint Boyer. There's contact. Couple of taps. Hamlin somehow hangs on to the race car, loses the lead, but doesn't spin out. Not so lucky for Clint Boyer, who went back to 25th. Carl Edwards, who finished first at Bristol and second at California. The engine really running well until, boom, it goes away. He had just led for 15 consecutive laps. And Kevin Harvick needed to finish 32nd. He's avoiding a big crunch to start-finish line, but he got grass all over the front grille. The engine overheating. He had to come on the pit road. Now avoids another spin. The 41 car of Reed Sorensen somehow stays away from the contact, and that's where we are right now. We are under a red flag condition here at lap 294, 106 laps to go due to a 4-car crash. And there sits Kevin Harvick and the other guys. Here are the projected standings as of right now in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Kevin Harvick, by virtue of the win at Daytona, he won the season opening Daytona 500. Remember, you get 10 bonus points per victory. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 13th in the points. And remember, he is now 86 points back of Harvick. But we still have 106 laps to go, and anything can happen. Can Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's running 4th right now, hang on? Will Harvick survive? We'll find out who's in the chase when we come back in a moment.
Here are the pit stops. Johnny Sauter, no changes to his car. They will change 4 tires and send him back out. Fresh rubber trying to be the other story here at Richmond. Mike.
Matt Kenseth says he's loose, needs more traction off. They'll pull a spring rubber from the right rear and make an air pressure adjustment. Jamie.
Air pressure adjustment for Jeff Gordon. He's in 3rd. Remember, Steve Letarte said after the stop, they're going to go to the end on fuel. Alan?
No changes for the 20 car. Tony Stewart came down pit road as the leader. Will he get away from pit road with the lead intact? Let's see.
Saw the crew applauding there as he left, and Jimmy Johnson will gain a spot on pit road. Tony Stewart will not leave as the leader. He loses a position. Casey Kane up 4 spots to 5th. Matt Kenseth back 3. Johnny Sauter lost a couple, and Martin Truex joins the top 10 by gaining a spot in that pit stop. The red flag has been withdrawn, and now the cars are rolling. They have made their pit stops. As we will come back with a green flag with about 100 laps to go. Great pit work here. The crew cam being worn by Brian Hootie Chase in the Earnhardt Jr. pit. Green flag back at Richmond International Raceway. 101 laps to go. Jimmy Johnson the leader. Tony Stewart. 3rd place is Jeff Gordon, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 4th.
And it's been a long time since we've seen Jimmy Johnson up front. He's got that clean area. He's got a clear track right now. They've been working on this car throughout the night. It's probably the best it's going to handle.
Tony Stewart's had the best car. He's catching, looks like he might be catching Johnson just a little bit here, but it seems like Johnson just shows up right here at the end of the race every week.
Well, Tony's car is really good, guys. They were talking earlier about maybe making a little bit adjustment to try to get the car off the corner better, but Tony's a little scared about doing it because the car's been so fast.
Jimmy Johnson driving for Hendrick. Tony Stewart for Joe Gibbs on the left side of your screen. Right side, you see the 70 car. That is Johnny Sauter. And he's trying to hold off Casey Kane for position. That's for the 6th spot.